on the ground now in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. So let's spend a little more time talking about the Israeli military operation right now with Miri, who's joining us live from Tel Aviv, the director of the International Institute for Counterterrorism at Reichman University. Miri, thank you so much for joining us. You obviously had a very long military career yourself. What is your assessment of what we are seeing, what the Israeli military is doing right now?
We're in an all-out war. As I listen to the descriptions, and my heart can go out to the civilians in the Gaza Strip, Israel is systematically trying, you've said this yourself, to arrive, reach, and dismantle the Hamas terror capabilities, which include both the weapons and the terrorists. That means systematically going in, but we all need to understand Hamas, the terror organization in the Gaza Strip, has prepared the Gaza Strip as their fortification for over a decade. There's an above ground and there's a below ground, and they use both levels. And the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, is systematically trying to get in against the booby traps, against the suicide drones, against the surprises that the terror organization wants to show that they can continue to do. They built this as part of their plan for us to come in, and then they wanted to kill more. And we need to do this systematically. For me, from a military perspective, it is one of the ways, not the only way, but one of the ways to arrive at the hostages. You have to get to the tunnel system. You have to get into the tunnel system. That cannot be done from afar. This is against Hamas, their capabilities. Get into that system, get to the hostages.
Miri, you have a background in intelligence as well, over a more than 20-year career in the Israeli military. You were describing there that tunnel network. Tell us a little more about it, about, as you say, how much infrastructure is actually down there, and how do Israeli forces go about reaching those hostages and getting them out safely, which we know is one of the key objectives here.
We're talking about a system that has been built over more than a decade, over hundreds of miles, hundreds of kilometers. That is something which is both under the city, underneath the neighborhoods, underneath the Palestinian refugee camps, throughout the Gaza Strip. We've all known that. If you remember in the past, there were attacks against Israel because this included attack tunnels that came into Israeli territory. That's something that we nipped. It certainly did not help us on October 7th when we were wrong about everything else. So you need to get into that system. Think of it right now as the underground. It's 80, 100 meters below ground. You go down into it. It needs lighting. It needs electricity. It is full of cache of weapons and thousands of fighters. I heard before, and I say it sadly, for the people of the Gaza Strip, that Israel, want to help. That there's lots of fuel. It's just inside the underground tunnels. There's water. There's the sustenance that the Hamas terrorists have built there underneath the Gaza Strip. And that's what makes it all the more difficult. And so right now you need to get into that system. And once you're in, that's already the worst kind of terrain for battle that there is. It's the combination of urban, of tunnels. No military has done so. That doesn't mean we're not going to do so. It's just very challenging.
Miri, I'm really grateful for your time and your insight as